Hello, welcome to another B's and T's. I am your host, Tina. Um, and I am very, very sorry that the last couple of weeks have been kind of odd um, about doing videos, with all this stuff going on. And my husband's been home for a little over 2 weeks now. So my routine has been sort of, sort of weirded. So hopefully things are gonna get back to normal and I can do this once a week as you know, I've wanted to do this whole time. So I'm hoping to get back in that regular sort of routine. So we'll see. Hopefully. So first off, yeah, I am sorry about that. Um, and what am I drinking today? We'll go ahead and we'll start with that. So this is one I haven't tried before, so this should be interesting. I'm gonna try it first time on camera here. It is Fortnum and Mason Famous Teas Royal Blend, and there we go. I have the window open, but it's cloudy, and so the light's kind of funky. But so that's what it looks like. And as usual, I actually have um, two tea bags in here because I like it, and I have a I Woof You um, cup. I've always been more of a dog person growing up. We've had both dogs and cats, and weird things like lizards and hermit crabs. But anyway, so yeah, that's not bad. Okay, I like this. It's a basic tea, like an English breakfast. It doesn't have that bergamot taste like Earl Grey does. It's more of a very basic tea, but it's nice. Okay, anyway, so that's good. I'll be sipping on that as I go. So always always good. All right, so personal life and updates. Like I was saying, things have been a little weird. Um, as much as it's always nice to have the husband around, I do love him. I do. It's really hard being here constantly for 2 weeks in what I consider a fairly small house. Um, pretty much, you know, all up on each other. Just there's not much to do, and finding movies to watch, and things that we both enjoy, which is for some weird reason we there's a lot of things we have in common, but the types of movies and TV shows that we like are not. And so being cooped up in here, it's been a bit weird, but we're all right. We didn't kill each other, so yay! So yeah, that's really about it. It's been normal. It's my work has been really really busy, which I still don't understand, but it is what it is. So I haven't really had a whole lot of time for stitching, which means that this might be a little short, but I do have an idea. Don't worry. So we'll get onto that though. Mail call. I did have one email that was sent to me. It was not a comment, but an actual email, and I do apologize that I don't remember the person's name. But essentially, they had asked they kind of asked about what a retreat was, and I figure most of you guys know, so I'll go kind of quick. Um, Essentially, what I told them is, as far I'm not an expert. I've only been to two so far, and those were both local at my LNS. I was meant to go to StitchCon, but things happen. I'll go next year, so we're good. So there's two types I've noticed. The first type is more common, which is where it's a weekend. You take your own stitching, you go and stitch with people, sit down, and a lot of times there's a store. There's usually a freebie table. Sometimes there are classes, sometimes there's not. Um, and so that's what you see most of them. Like StitchCon's like that. The other ones, which usually tend to be smaller ones, they tend to be at LNSs. Like this is the what my LNS does is that you pay a certain price and everybody has the same project or projects ready for them. Like my LNS had a big bag and it had everything we needed for all of the projects we were going to do that weekend, including finishing stuff, which was nice. This was the one I went to was the first time I'd really fully finished anything, so that was kind of cool. Um, and so that was and those are nice too. You still get time, and you don't necessarily have to do what they are stitching on. You still bring your own stuff, but it's a little bit more planned out, and they both obviously have their merits. I'm hoping to go to one of the first types so I can kind of have a better idea of how different they are, but one day, one day perhaps. Yeah, that was the only mail. I did email them back, so just in case they don't get to see this, I did respond with a little bit more information, but I just wanted to kind of you know go over it quickly with you guys. Q&A. So no comments that I noticed. I did not check the tell you what, let me do this while I have you here just to make absolutely sure that there are no comments that I missed. Nope. Okay, so I'm good. So no Q&A. Other than that one email question, which was great. That was really cool, and hopefully I answered their questions. So I am not an expert by a long shot. So hopefully that was all right for them. And uh, hmm. Oh, one of my, you can tell this is a very well loved shirt. Don't try it on me. It's kind of hard to tell, but they're not Lego pieces, but they look like Lego pieces. So there's nothing worse than stepping on a Lego piece. Well, okay, maybe there's worse things, but it's pretty bad. I wouldn't know from experience. No. Okay. So new starts. There have not been any new starts. Once again, I really haven't done a whole lot of stitching, which does make this a bit on the shorter side. I don't know, maybe you guys like that. But um so unfortunately nothing to say there. For the works in progress, I'm going to show this because it's not actually going to uh, reveal anything. This is the Halloween exchange that I'm doing for a Facebook group, and as I said before, I was working on the other side of it, and I didn't. I'm not obviously going to say who it's for. It's somebody that I have that I'm aware of, so I know who I'm trading with. Not just a random stitcher. I mean, so this is part of it. So that's oh yeah, and I have this. You know, they're both. I love these. These are both kind of wooden ones. And unfortunately, I do not remember where they came from, so I apologize for that. This is Picture This Plus. Oh, hi, cat. My cat's walking past me. Oh, it is. Do I have it written down in here? Oh, wonderful. I do not. I apologize. Not Phantom. I do not remember what it is, and I apologize. It is a Picture This Plus. This is a 14 count. Um, and yes, I do like the hoops. So this is a variegated DMC, which they're really rather interesting, and um, because the variegation on them, as you can tell, is uh, really quite extreme. And so it gives you a really interesting sort of thing, uh, sort of design. So you almost have to do it over something that's a little bit larger. So, you can kind of see that variegation. If you're doing it on kind of small designs, then a lot of times that's going to be kind of lost, which would really be a shame actually because it's really rather pretty. I do not have. Let's see. I was looking for the actual number. Meanwhile, I try not to actually show you what I'm doing. Okay, well, I apologize. As usual, I am a bit of a hot mess. I'm sorry about that. But anyway, so that's really what I was working on. Let me see. I think I've worked a little bit more on the Plague Doctor. Whoops, hold on. Since I saw you 2 weeks ago. So, oh, hi. And we're having a little, hi, Selena. This is my kitty, Selena, who has decided to grace us with her presence. She might settle down up here. You gonna settle down? There you go. Good girl. All right. So, get a little kitty show. So we've got the Plague Doctor, so I'm working a little bit more down here on the brim. Like I said, and I apologize, I don't remember if I had showed you this part of it before, but it's getting there. There's still a lot of fabric down here, so I still have a long way to go on that one. But um, I am looking forward to going back to that once I'm done with this exchange. So but I do want to get this, even though it's not due until September. I want to go ahead and get it done so I don't forget about it and just, totally drop the ball. Because this is the first exchange I've done, like ever. Um, Most of the time, um, since I don't really know how to finish things, I've kind of chickened out from participating, and sometimes a lot of times I'm just too late. I don't see it until it's too late. But so this time I was like, you know what, screw it, I'll do it. So there we go. So that's that. There are nothing finished, nothing fully finished, unfortunately. So nothing as usual. That's usually gonna be a lot of no and no on that one. So plans. Well, I guess I should talk a little bit about Mania. I think I've mentioned it before. Um, it was my original idea was to do a monogamania, which means finish working. Excuse me. Need some tea apparently. There we go. All right, hold on. Mm, Maybe she's sitting there judging me because I have a dog mug. Mm. Is that what you're doing, cat? I don't know. Maybe. So, um, my original idea was to do Monogamania, which is just to finish this project and then work on Plague Doctor. But Lindy Stitches had a really cool idea where you take one project, you give yourself a goal for it, and if you meet that goal during the week, number of stitches, amount of time you work on it, whatever. If you make significant progress, then you can give yourself a start on the weekend. So you'd essentially have 4 or 5, I think it's 5, starts that month. So I'm seriously considering that because I've already shown you guys the pile of stuff that I have ready to go and haven't started. And it would be nice to have a little bit more, oh, and there she goes. Have you finally given up on me? Anyway, so, and it would be nice to have a few more choices. Everything that I have right now is a really, really big. Oh, bye, cat. Uh, they're really big projects, and so it would nice to start a few little things, and kind of have some finishes. So, if you guys have any suggestions, I don't know if you guys have watched Lindy Stitches. She gave it a really funny name, and I apologize. I don't remember what it was. Um, but so if you guys have any ideas on if that's a good idea, if that's a bad idea, maybe what you guys are doing, I would love to hear about that. Um, Stitch Sania, that's what it was called. So that's that. You know, please tell me. I'd love to hear. A lot of people are doing this Stitch Mania where it's like 20 starts or some even more. Which more power to you. That's really cool. I have enough that I could start I could start one a day, but I'm not that insane. I don't know. I might actually be that insane, but anyway. So so I'm waffling between those two. Other than that, like I said, just finish this project, and then go back to Plague Doctor. Pretty much. About what I'm. That's about my plans. For haul or retail therapy, only one thing. I'm pretty much not doing, very much in the way of buying things right now. I mentioned a couple weeks ago that I still am waiting for the thread from the UK. It's nothing special. It's just another black thread that I'm hoping will have better coverage than 310. Um, and so uh, the last update was a few days ago that it was in Miami, and it hasn't updated since then. So if it doesn't work this time, I'm just cutting my losses. I'm not. You know, the lady at Etsy has been more than wonderful about this. So the only actual thing that I have, and I apologize, I did not take it out of the plastic, and somewhere Gary from Sunshine Stitchers is killing me. This is, and I'll turn this light on, might help a little bit. This is from Fortnite Fabrics. It is Bianchero, Bianchero. Anyway, they actually, this is a fabric of the month, and what they do is they have a colorful and a neutral, and they name them after mushrooms, which is really cool. So I don't know what mushroom this is. Oh, there we go. Actually, that's coming out pretty well. It's a little darker than this. It's coming out a little faded out. Let's see, does that help any? Yeah, actually, that's a little better. That's pretty close to color there. It's got some really, really nice modeling in it. This is a 18 count Ada. I don't know the size, but I guess maybe 13 by 17 or so, probably a fat eighth. So it's really, really pretty. I love it. And so I have no idea what I'm going to use it on yet, but it has a lot of good things that I think you could use that on. So, and I'm sorry, it's pollen in the air. It's making me sniff a little bit. Um, so that's really cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what I can do with that. I don't have any plans for it yet. Um, all right, FlossTuber of the week. So, FlossTuber of the week. God, I have so many people I watch, so this is gonna be one that I can do for a very long time. I'm going with Stitching Jules this week. I love watching her stuff because she is. Hold on a second, sorry. She does a lot of things that are not the real popular ones. She does a lot of huge products. And when I say huge, I mean we're talking about some of her fabric is like yards of fabric, like Old World Map, um, a lot of ones from Cross Stitch Collectibles, um, from Hate Heaven and Earth, of course, and also from there was one more company that does really big ones. And I can't remember their name off the top of my head. Um, so I mean, we're talking huge, huge ones. And she is doing the honeybee portrait from Heaven and Earth, which I really, really want to do, but I have not actually broken down and gotten a Heaven and Earth design yet. So I know I'm not a real stitcher. I confess. I know my sins. Um, so but if I did, I do actually. I have been to the website, obviously, and I do have some in a wish list. Most of them are kind of the smaller ones, and a lot of them have to do with cats. I have no idea why. So um, but so and they have sales. I mean, the prices really aren't bad. It's just that they're very daunting, very full coverage, very daunting, and I have a couple of full coverages already, so I'm like, I don't know that I really really want to start another one. It's like, no, I already have enough big things going on. I just some small things. So, yeah. So yeah, she does some really cool things, and she is a vet. So she has birds and an axolotl, which is really cool. Lots of dogs. Oh, she has the cutest dogs. Um, and she also talks about her and her husband have an apiary. And they actually make honey. They sold honey last year, and I am unfortunately regretting that I didn't get any. I should have. I should have. Well, I had the chance, but um, and they're also doing hydroponics. So it's just a little bit of everything, and it's really cool. So definitely check out Stitching Jules. She's awesome. The non-stitching, I'm sorry, the stitching website of the week. I'm gonna go with the fairly obvious. I went the cross stitch calculator last time, because it's a really good resource to for people who are starting projects. Um, so this week I'll go with the second obvious one, which is 123stitch.com. And I'll have links in the description though below. And so it's really kind of a one-stop shop. Well, I mean it doesn't have everything, but it's got a very large selection of patterns. They've got all sorts of threads and all and a lot of fabric. Picture This Plus is one that they have, which is what I use a lot of. Um, and all the accoutrement and all the good stuff. And they do a lot non-stitching stuff. They do stamping stuff, and um, I don't know that they do scrapbooking or not, but they have other things, um, um, other things as well. And it's a really good place. I mean, I've bought from them many times. I'm trying to think. One of the first orders I put in when I started stitching in earnest, a couple like year and a half ago. Um, so they're definitely worth looking at, and shipping is good. It's not terribly expensive. It's pretty quick. I've never had any problems with any of the orders I've made. Occasionally they'll have stuff that's out of stock, and what I usually tell them is just ship me everything and then ship the out of stock stuff later, and they'll do that without a problem. So I definitely recommend them. The non-stitching website of the week. Um, I'll put the link in it below. It's a place called GameWith.net. Of course, a lot of people, their current obsession is Animal Crossing New Horizons, which is a game on the Nintendo Switch where essentially you are on an island and you've got you can manage your resources, you can plant trees, fruit trees. You can invite neighbors in, and then you can start uh, changing your island. Changing how it looks and really personalizing it. I'm not really doing the best job of explaining it, but it's a really cute game, and it's been around for a long time. There have been versions on past Nintendo um, uh, things as well. I believe it started on the Wii, I think, and there actually have been there are mobile ones as well. I know there's one for your phone, as well as ones for um, the Game Boy DS. So it's been around for a while, and it's a really fun game. But what this website is what you can fish for fish, obviously, or you can also get bugs. Um, and so what this website does, as and then you can sell them. So you're um, making bells are the currency, and what you're doing is you can expand your house, and so you're paying back your loan. Um, and you can also buy items, obviously. And so this is a good website to show what fish and what insects are worth how much. What fish you could go sorry, what fish you should go for. Um, there's different islands you can go to. So it's a lot of really good resources on how to play the game. A real good game guide online, so you don't have to. And I've bought Animal Crossing guides in the past. But this is a really, really good one for online, and it's free, which is always nice. So that's my non-stitching website of the week. Um, I'm going to give you a twofer for the random bee fact of the week because I like both of these and I want to say both of them. First, which is something I didn't know, but somebody told me when we were having a discussion about bees. Apparently, all bees are deaf. What they do is they communicate by vibration, not by sound, which I thought was really cool. Also, all worker bees are female. So, there you go. So, a couple of random bee facts for you. Um, and I think that's about it for that. So, um, I just wanted to do one more real quick thing. Um, I thought would be kind of fun and something I should have done probably the very first week, which is a Know Your Needleworker tag. And I know that there are other ones out there. I looked and I could not find anything but this one particular one, which is pretty short. So this won't take too terribly long. But I just wanted to do this because it's a way, like I said, to know a little bit more about me. So let me go ahead and put this back here. So the Know Your Needleworker tag. This is from Tricia, the left-handed stitcher, which I am left-handed. Yay! So I got you on that one. Um, First question: where do you live? South Carolina, the upstate of South Carolina, close to the mountains, not down by the ocean. Um, One thing, and maybe this is just me, but when a lot of people talk about South Carolina, they think about Charleston, which is great. Don't get me wrong. I love Charleston. It's really pretty. There's lots of really cool things to see down there. I love going. When I was a kid, I used to love going to the um, battleship, not battleship. It's wow. My mind is absolutely blanking on the ship that's down there. It was a ship in World War II, and it was a big aircraft carrier. And let's see, I apologize for this. Uh, oh, the Yorktown. There we go. Sorry, the USS Yorktown. And it's a huge aircraft carrier. It's really cool. And you got Rainbow Row and all the really cool things. So it's nice. But unfortunately, there's a lot more to South Carolina than just Charleston. There really is, and Myrtle Beach, where a lot of people are go partying for spring break and things like that. But it's really touristy, and I haven't been to Myrtle Beach in probably 20 years, and I don't miss it. I actually lived up there for a summer in North Myrtle Beach, which was fun. I could walk to the beach. I could walk across the street to one of the shopping areas, um, and I worked like 2 miles away, so at a different kind of touristy shopping area. So it was fun. But there's a lot of really pretty things. And Columbia is, I mean, it's got USC, University of South Carolina, which is really cool. And it has a lot of really cool things, some really awesome museums and such. And it's our capital city, but it's not really a touristy town. But up in the upstate where I am, there's a lot of really pretty cities. North of us, there's a city called Travelers Rest, which is literally called that because it's the last city before you really get to the mountains. So the travelers would rest there before they um, started traveling up the Blue Ridge, or resting on the way back down. And it's a cute little town. It's got all sorts of neat things to do. So there's nice stuff up here too. But anyway, I digress. What do you do for a living? I think that I've already talked about this. I don't want to say too much. I work with home mortgages. That's all I'll pretty much say. And as I said before, it's still been really busy. People are buying houses and refining houses a lot. But hey, more power to you. Keeps me in a job, so can't complain. Do you have any children? Does my cat count? So no. I have four nieces and nephews. They went uh, boy girl, which worked out well. So the oldest, he's 11, and the youngest, she is 3. So, and I love them. I love them all to death. And in fact, I did a drive-by earlier. That sounds terrible. Anyway, a drive-by visiting earlier this week with my brother and the kiddos, and I sat in my car, and they stood outside, and we chatted for a little bit. So that was really fun. I hadn't seen them in a while, so that was neat. It's good to see the kiddos, um, and it's been weird not babysitting them because I used to babysit them quite a bit, and now I can't obviously. So it's been strange not seeing them. But I love them to death. But it's always nice that you can hand them back off to mom, dad. So, do you have any pets? Well, she's not there now. She's sitting over in the window because I had the window open, so her HD TV is on. But yeah, just well, I have the cat. Her name's Selena. She's a rescue. She's about 6 years old, I believe. I think we've had her about 5 years, and she was just getting into adulthood when we got her. So she's well, I say she's a sweetheart, but she's not always. I do have some scars. Well, you can't really see them, but you have to believe me that I do have some scars to show. But I also have a beta fish. He is a veiled dragon tail beta, I believe is what he's called. His name's Smog. And oh. Hey, Paul, hold on. I'm recording real quick. Let me do the rest of this really quick. Do you have any hobbies besides stitching? Um, Not really. I play on the computer. I draw a little bit. I play video games. Um, you're gonna come back behind me and show the cat. Oh, wait. Oh, there we go. Oh, and it's a husband. Well, it's not a husband's face, but it's a cat. It's a husband's body and cat. Um, what is your favorite movie? Ghostbusters. Absolutely Ghostbusters. Hey, cat. Hello, Selena. I was just talking about you. So you're killing me. My favorite movie absolutely is Ghostbusters. And you are just okay, Paul. Come on,
Okay.
quit, quit annoying our poor cat. Um, so, favorite movie is definitely Ghostbusters. Second would be the first Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I love both of those very, very much. Favorite TV show? Mm, all right, I'm gonna say it. It's probably the BBC show Sherlock. I love that show. I've seen it many, many times. It's kind of my comfort food when I don't have anything else to watch. A lot of times I'll just put an episode on and stitch and not even think about it. It's just good. It's really it's if you have Netflix, it's on there. They also are um on DVD. But if you had Netflix, you can watch them for free on that. But I definitely recommend them. They're really smart. There's only 13 episodes, but they're an hour and a half each. So you can't binge it in a day, but you can binge it in a weekend. And I definitely recommend it. What's your favorite book? Um, I don't know that I have any one particular favorite book. Um, I do like the whole Dark Elf series by R.A. Salvatore. Um, and I've read dog-eared those books many a time. In fact, he's actually written a couple new ones, and so I'm a little behind. I have a couple to catch up on, but um, I have time, so no excuse really. Um, what's your favorite music? Oh God, that's a can of worms because I my favorite band is REM. And no, there's um no argument about that. But I kind of like a little bit of everything from bluegrass to punk to um um my favorite I would say would probably be like 80s, early 80s kind of new wave sort of stuff. Also kind of 90s grunge, 90s alternative. Those two would be kind of my favorite, but I mean, anything um, from classical to punk uh, to anything like that is good. Paul, sorry. Um, so yeah, it's really, really eclectic. What's one word that best describe you? I'm gonna say eclectic. Yeah, I'm gonna say that. I think I'm a little bit of everywhere. It's kind of a jack of all trades, master of none. That's kind of me. Um, I have a weird knowledge of 80s music that scares people sometimes. So, but when it comes to other stuff, I'm a total idiot about it. So, but many things actually. So, all right. Well, that's really the only tag I could find. So, I think I will go ahead and leave it there. And so hopefully I'll be able to do this again next week. And until then, I will see you guys later. Bye.